The Smurl family thought they had found their quiet suburban dream, a modest home in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. But within those four walls, something else was waiting, and it would twist their lives into a waking nightmare that would haunt them for years. In 1973, Jack and Janet Smurl moved into a simple duplex on Chase Street, ready to build a life for themselves and their four daughters. It was an unassuming home. 2 stories, white siding, a yard for the kids to play in. At first, everything seemed ordinary. The neighborhood was quiet, the community welcoming. But soon, small disturbances began to unsettle the family's peace. It started as simple oddities, dark stains that seeped through the walls, no matter how many times they scrubbed them away. Pipes clanged and rattled even when the house was still. Then came the smells, foul, putrid odors that filled the air like rotting meat. No matter how often they cleaned, the stench would return, an invisible reminder that something was there. At night, footsteps echoed across the ceiling, pacing in the darkness above the children's rooms. Cabinet doors banged shut with violent force. Cold drafts swept through hallways that should have been warm and safe. The Smurls' peaceful home had become a place of fear. Jack was shoved by invisible hands as he tried to sleep. Janet felt her hair pulled by something she couldn't see. Their daughters woke up crying, convinced something watched them from the shadows. The family dog growled at corners of the room, barking at nothing. The children complained of voices whispering in the dark, telling them to leave. The Smurls said the force seemed to grow bolder, feeding on their fear. Loud banging rattled the walls in the middle of the night, so hard that picture frames fell and shattered on the floor. Desperate for relief, the Smurls turned to the local clergy. A priest came to bless the house, sprinkling holy water in every room. For a moment, there was calm, but it didn't last. The disturbances returned, more violent than before. Objects flew across the room, beds shook in the night, and the family felt as if they were being hunted in their own home. In 1986, word of the haunting reached Ed and Lorraine Warren, famous paranormal investigators known for their work in some of America's most haunted places. The Warrens visited the Smurl home and claimed they felt an evil presence immediately. Lorraine described it as a dark, suffocating force, a demonic entity that had attached itself to the family. They attempted exorcisms and blessings, chanting prayers through the house as they sprinkled more holy water. But the Smurls said the attacks only grew worse. Scratches appeared on their skin. The foul stench returned stronger than ever. The story spread quickly through West Pittston. Some neighbors believed the Smurls. Others said it was just imagination or stress from raising 4 children in a cramped house. Newspapers ran headlines about the haunting, stirring curiosity and doubt. The Smurls held firm. They said they were prisoners in their own home, terrorized by something they couldn't understand. Night after night, they lay awake listening to the groans of the house and the heavy footsteps of an unseen visitor. By 1988, the family had had enough. They moved away, leaving behind the house and the memories of what happened there. But the haunting didn't end in their minds. For years, the Smurls insisted it was real, that a dark force had invaded their lives, leaving scars they would carry forever. To this day, the Smurl haunting remains one of the most chilling stories in America's paranormal history. Some believe it was a hoax, a way to explain the pressures of family life and financial struggles. Others believe the Smurl story, seeing in their fear and quiet desperation the mark of something truly evil. What really happened in that house on Chase Street may never be known. But for Jack and Janet Smurl, the horror was real, and the echoes of it still linger in the dark corners of their memories. Thank you for listening to The Lantern's Tale. If you enjoyed this true story, join us next time, if you dare.